Hello everyone and welcome to a belated start to the GPVWC Touring Car Championship. We're here at Snetterton for the first round. We're on lap 4 of 10 at the moment. You have missed not tons, except for this gigantic scrap that's going on at the front between Matt Richards, Kevin Siggy and Rasmus Sarlo, that's slowly getting Chris Butcher, Lewis McGlade and Sven de Vries onto the back of it. My name is Simon Smith, and alongside me as always is Tom Parker, who can keep you up with some of the latest shenanigans that have been happening in the opening couple of laps.
Yes, hello everybody. Hopefully we're here now. Yes, Matt Richards started third on the grid, had an epic start. Up to second place, jumping Lewis McGlade, and he's actually managed to he took the lead from Siggy going into the hairpin on lap 2. So, excellent move from Matt to get onto the lead, rather. Kevin started on pole. Excellent job to get onto pole, but he's now stuck behind Matt. He's actually around the outside of the hairpin. Can he make it? Not quite, so he sits back from behind. Lewis McGlade was second on the grid, had a terrible start, down to 5th at the start, and has now sort of kept pace with him there. So he's still there. He's got 9 kg of weight, obviously because he's 5th in the championship behind Baldy, Strana, Munro, and Holm. Am I right?
You are right.
I remembered it. So yeah, it's been an interesting first couple of laps, but yes, change of route at the front, obviously.
It is indeed switcheroo as Siggy tries to go down the outside of Matt Richards around this elongated Snetterton circuit. We're running the longer layout here for 10 laps. We're at the halfway point nigh on now. And Siggy was looking a bit passive at the beginning of this race, and Richards took advantage. And now, since Richards has then got into the lead and proceeded to bulk everyone up behind, Siggy's now no longer got the sole ownership of Richards' rear wing, and now that he's got more company, he's starting to look a little more agitated, a little bit more aggressive towards Matt Richards behind. Just the 2 retirements as we go down the straight is Lars Brugman and Tobias Olsen. Olsen, this bizarre pickup in the middle, and here comes Siggy into the chicane. Is that going to be the last of the late break as he goes onto the curve? There's going to be contact between the two. Richards plays leapy over the thing. Siggy goes out onto the grass. Rasmus Sarlo will be the one to pick up the pieces here as the Basfit goes diving up into second position. Great move by him, and can Butchie get through as well? He's got his meat cleaver out. Is he going to take the podium slot? Indeed he does. And Kevin Siggy goes from darting for the lead down to 4th position in one fell swoop. And that's what happens around this Snetterton circuit. Very much like Thruxton that you was at this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is one ill-judged move. Well, we wouldn't say it's ill-judged, but he just didn't pull it off, and then boom, lost 2 places, poor Kevin. So that would have eased Matt's worries for a lap or 2. Silo does have the fastest lap of the race, actually, 2 minutes 6. 2:00.6. So it's fastest man on track as we speak. He took another 3 attempts out of Richards that lap. So can Sarlo make any sort of impression on Richards? And Chris Butcher, will he be able to keep Siggy behind?
One of the other interesting stories to note was Gergo Baldi got taken off in the first lap twice and ended up in 30th position. He's just about to overtake Mano Klont for 22nd down into turn 1 after 2 attempts already the previous lap, and it looks like he's not got it done this time either. Klont is holding on for dear life, but that is got championship ramifications because Gergo Baldi is one of the championship rivals. Now he's got 22nd just about, although Klont comes diving through and retakes him back. So Baldi not quite getting it. Is he going for the switcheroo back up the inside? Yes, he is. But that one could run and run because Klont's got the inside line for the next corner, and in fact he does get chopped off, and that's the end of that. Back up to the front again, and Sarlo is certainly pressuring Matt Richards. He's been soaking up all of the pressure from people ahead of him so far, but Rasmus Sarlo is well known for his defying moves.
Yeah, if there's anyone to do it, I would say Sarlo is the one. Chris Butcher can't quite seem to keep up with the leading couple, so 6 tenths behind at the moment of Sarlo. Now got a great run into here, but he's going to think better of it into the chicane. Can he make a good move into the final little chicane at the end of the lap, which you did used to have a really, really bad couple of tyre stacks, so yeah, they've been removed, which is a bit more breathe easy, I suppose. But he's lost a bit of pace there on Richards, and now he's got a bit of a clean run into the chicane.
Interesting one, because like that fast chicane that we was going into, I remember that being one of the few overtaking places that you would try it last time, but you had to have both cars committed to making sure that there wasn't going to be an accident, whereas now with the longer circuit there's more chances to catch up and lose out as the battle for 5th kicks off. Sven de Vries is going down the inside of Lewis McGlade, and he's got the job done before they even get to turn 1. He must have had a great exit behind as well.
It was the other way round.
Sorry. It was De Vries defending from McGlade. Eric Strane's just got round Adrian Holm as well for 7th and 8th positions. Holm unable to defend. He's going straight down in the middle. Strane sees it coming, gives him plenty of room. Holm does the 2 wheels straddling the curb, which I always find slightly dubious, like my 4 wheels on the track, if poss. But he still can't get it through. The THR stays in 8th. The 2 triple 20s of Bricalo and DeVos round out the top 10. Your point scorers elsewhere are Munro, Shepherd, Fournier, Redshaw and Tapper rounding out your top 15 at the moment. Redshaw dropping back down the field after a strong quali. But not so for Matt Richards, who still continues to hold this advantage. And clearly, having weight is costing people here.
Yes, Eric Strane and Adrian Holt both have a lot of weight, don't they? So 7th and 8th is destroying him. I mean, we said earlier that Munro did actually only qualify 14th, and considering he's got that weight, maybe it does show that it is bringing him down quite a lot. I mean, although McGlade did qualify on the front row of weight, so maybe some can hold it better than others. Obviously, McGlade only has 9 compared to Strane's 45, but maybe it's just giving him maybe a bit of an advantage. Maybe it doesn't kick the rear out as much. I found that in the WSS mod anyway, so maybe it's like that in this one. So yeah, Munro, look at that, he's losing a lot of time down the straights compared to Shepherd, so could be interesting, that one, for 11th place.
Absolutely, everyone's favourite new Scot in real racing. He's got a fine form in that and is making waves. We've got the 2 epics right behind him, Chris Shepherd, who got disqualified from race 2 of our last meeting. But he's got teammate Geoffrey Fournier having a good look through. Do love that epic
Sarlo
racing
Richards.
livery. As here he comes, Mr. Sarlo. Around the outside, can't quite manage it, but he'll try and do it so he gets a much more acute angle out of that turn 1 to have a dive up the inside for 2. Richard sees it coming, does the inside blocker route, and that means that Sarlo is going to have to...
Oh, he's round!
No!
He's round!
Oh, Butcher stuck his nose where it didn't belong, and that was the end of that. It was all kind of pincered, and that was very GP2 Bahrain-esque.
Yes, I would say personally I'd give the place back, but I mean he's down to 6th. He's only down to 6th, which shows that actually the advantage that the top 5, 6 actually had over 7th, but yes, dubious.
Indeed. As Kevin Siggy dives past Butcher for 2nd, that was last of the late breakers, all 4 tyres screaming out like some kind
Butcher.
of...
Oh, he's waiting, he's waiting. Good lad.
Oh, good Butchie. See, I knew why he was cuddleable. Although...
Silas making it difficult.
He goes off.
That's good, good sportsmanship, very good, I like that.
We don't see that quite so often to that degree out on track, so I'm really pleased that Chris Butcher is showing exactly what kind of spirit sim racers are made of, as Munro gets it all wrong in 11th and has got Shepherd and Fournier crawling all over the back of him. 2 bright purpley pink, or hot pink, epics, and down this long straight.
That weight as well.
You can see, look at the way they just suck up onto his rear end and are then poking out. He's going to throw it round the outside potentially. That's going to be brave because Munro's car is going to be more disabled. Can't quite do it, and if anything actually he's going to lose out to his teammate. Awkward place to go for an overtake there, yet it's so inviting.
Yeah, I mean, the ideal thing is to stick on the outside and try and stay with the driver so you get the inside for the right-hander. I mean, but difficult to do, very difficult to do.
So up front we are on lap 8 of 10. Oh,
on to 9 now.
We are indeed, as Shepherd does go past Munro for that 11th and 12th. Across the line they go. And that was all a bit argy-bargy. And Munro goes for the slipstream to see if he can try and get back through. Fournier's there as well. Redshaw's about to join onto the back of this. Here comes Munro, slingshotting himself down and in again. Again, this is only for 11th position in this race, but it's all about trying to cling on for as many points as possible in the long-term championship. Redshaw nearly spins it behind them through turn 1, getting a proper tank slapper on. Clearly he's got cleavage. And Munro retakes back that 11th position. Great stuff by him, and that's going to run and play to the advantage of Redshaw and Tapper, who are joining onto the back of this with just 1.5 laps to go.
Yeah, Matt seems to have held the gap to Siggy very well, actually. So he's doing a stellar job as they go past that little pond, which is not there in real life, but we love it, loving it. And yeah, Matt is doing a stellar job actually to keep the lead from Kevin and keep it a good half second, just a bit over at the moment gap. So he hasn't been given this on a plate; he's earned it.
definitely. He soaked up all of the all of the pressure that Siggy, Sarlo, and co have thrown his way, and there's been plenty of it. And I don't think Siggy is done yet. There's one more lap yet to go, and he's closed in 2 temps now to 4 temps. So 2 temps per sector. Sven de Vries is the quiet one because in all of that he's quickly shimmied his way up to 3rd position. McGlade has gone from 2nd to 5th to 6th to 4th.
Yes.
That's been an interesting one. And it's Sarlo, Butcher, Holm, Strane, Bacalo and DeVos, the 2 2020s rounding out the top 10, just clinging onto the lead group but not being close enough to go for it as Fournier goes past Shepherd for 12th.
Kevin almost got into the back of Matt going into the final corner there. He's really gained quite a lot now. What was I on about? Easy win? No, not a chance. Not with Kevin Siggy around. He's in the slipstream. He hasn't quite got it there. No, he's going to the outside, but probably just to get a better angle into this corner. Matt moves over. Perfectly legal to do so. He's taking his racing line. Is Kevin going to do anything into the hairpin? He's got an excellent run out of that. He's on the outside. Can Matt defend? Placed his car well. Oh, Kevin, can he do it? Not quite. Well done to Matt. That defended very nicely. Oh, Kevin, a bit of wheel spin on the exit, but status quo as we go into the next sector.
They don't want to bin it into that beautiful pond because there is only lily pads and floaties waiting for them. As Siggy runs out wide, 2 wheels onto the grass, that won't gain him the retardation that he needs to get down that main straight. This is a vague overtaking opportunity as Rasmus Sarlo has a go at McGlade round the outside, doesn't quite get it there, maybe looking at the slingshot on the exit as McGlade gets it all wrong on the exit and Sarlo goes past anyway and says yoink, I'll have full, thank you very much. That was an easy done deal. McGlade then tries to pincer it through and off they go and Sarlo's off on the grass again, comes across the track, nearly does a Plato but gets out of it just about and does a spin turn. Oh, nearly takes out Bart de Vos. That was a bit leery, unfortunately, for Rasmus. But I think he's just getting a bit angry at the fact that he's been punted around worse than a, well...
Punted. Yeah, something. But that's twice
yes.
now, so really lucky for Sarlo. He's had really good pace. Like I said, fastest lap in the race earlier, so... Unfortunate as Matt is coming into the final thing, but he's got that a little bit wide into the chicane there. Kevin's right on his backside. Can something be done into the final corner? Slippy, I will let you take it.
Well, you know what I love to take is the final countdown, and around the last couple of corners they go. Kevin Siggy shadowing every single step that Matt Richardson's take. You can see the different lines, and Siggy is sliding his car through. That was the last of it, slipping it up the inside that he can, and that's a nudge there from Richards, or onto the back of Richards, and that's just going to push him actually and give him more momentum across the line. Matt Richards has soaked up every single thing that everyone could throw at him, and he wins. Brilliant. Round 1 of 3. Fantastic result there for the Cosmo Autosport team. Matt Richards wins from Kevin Siggy. Sven de Vries grabs an excellent 3rd. Lewis McGlade retakes 4th position after that attack from Sarlo. Butcher gets into 5th after all of that. Adrian Holm is 6th ahead of Eric Strane, Ildra Bracalo, Bart de Vos, and Rasmus Sarlo still grabs a top 10 despite everyone's efforts to make sure he doesn't bring it home. Jeffrey Fournier grabs 11th there, getting past the clutches that were ahead of him at the time.
Yeah, Monroe Shepherd must have been Shepherd must have been in an incident because both Lewis and Jeffrey got past them. So I see it off screen, but very good from them.
It was into the final lap that happened down at turn 1. I saw Fournier getting past his teammate, and Redshaw comes home 12th, then just 3 temps ahead of John Munro, who was 2 temps ahead of Chris Shepherd. Dowie Tapper grabbed the final point by 3 tenths of a second from David Junt in Aurora. Then your other finishers were Ben Hackerson 17, Rainer Muru 18, Mike Bell 19, Martin Palm 20th. Another anonymous day for the man who we got so used to doing so well in touring cars. Gogo Baldi 21st. No points there then, so that ends his point streak of 6 races. So then there were 3. Pedro Mellem 22nd, Gerhard Batil 23rd, Clont 24, Hoekstra 25, Scotty Moore 26 gives Apex Racing their first of a double finish. Florian Engel 28th behind Jack Mayer, who makes his debut in 27th, I believe.
Yep.
Sam Jones did come home 29th, but he beat home Joel Pereira, who is the final runner, and he's just coming around the last couple of corners now. He just about escaped being lapped. Your 2 retirements then, Lars Brugman and Tobias Olsen.
Very good. As Joel Pereira crosses the line.
Yay!
3, 2, 1. I can't count. There we go. But no, that was excellent. That was really good from Matt. Really, really good. I must admit, very well done. Very composed. Very, yeah, just composed is the word I would say. Because I mean, he had so much pressure. He wasn't the quickest guy. I think he'll be the first to admit that. But that was excellent. Excellent job.
Send in your tweets, hashtag GPVWC Live or GPVWC, or you can just tweet directly at us at GPVWC Live. We like to hear what your thoughts and comments and filth are during the raceroo itself. We have a new cameraman extraordinaire with us this evening, and he's got an accent that, well, everyone's mother could love. It's Joshy Washy Anderson. How was that for you, mate?
Oh, it was a brilliant race, absolutely fantastic to watch. You know, it's something different touring cars, and it always provides fun racing, and it's just absolutely brilliant race as usual.
Well, can't be that bad. Your team won. Can't be that bad.
Of course I would say that. But yeah, everyone did a good job, not just Matt either. You know, Sven to get third, Kevin second, Lewis to get fourth. You know, they were all good out there.
Wow. Was it you that put the pond in the middle so it can feel a little bit like jungle, like a few of your fellow compatriots?
I wish it was, but I don't have the ability to control geography, so, you know, I might work on that for the future, but...
But we shall call you Populous. So, that works out very nicely for us. Particular highlights for you there, Parker?
Matt, obviously, excellent defending. I mean, I can't actually take away how good a win that was. Salo twice being turned round. What could he have done if he had the chance? I mean, what would he have been able to do if he was given a proper run at Matt? Chris Butcher, nice sportsmanship, very happy that he did give that place back, so I'm really impressed with him. Lewis McGlade in fourth as well. I mean, all top 5, top 6 did really super job actually, because I mean, Lewis McGlade, 9 kilograms of weight. I mean, it's not much, but it does affect your car, so it's good for him. And also shout out to Epic and Ice Cold, both their drivers finishing quite high up, so well done to those two teams. Very good. And actually...
And Triple 20 as well, double top 10.
Fantastic, yeah. So actually, as well, very clean.
Yes, shockingly so.
Clean. Very happy, very happy.
So the disciplinary committee will be sighing a sigh of relief that one of the 3 races has gone by without too much of a drama that's gone on. So your Saturday night is looking a little less dramatic from now on in, which is quite nice. And just actually from a general perspective, because I know you do some of the disciplinary committee stuff, don't you, Tom?
I used to do Formula Challenge, but I know sort of what's going on. Yeah.
You need a break from that, because you can only deal with that for so much time, surely.
Yeah.
Talk to us about how you go around that in that kind of mythology and the kind of things that you look out for when you're deciding to eat, not so much apportion and blame, but deciding whether something's a racing incident or whether it warrants looking into further, because I think that would be useful for new sim racers coming in, or just people in general for their own code of conduct.
Yes, absolutely. Well, obviously, discipline committee. There's a different. As far as I know, there is different people for each series. So, for example, I wouldn't be able to do Super League for CSG because obviously I'm a driver for them. Or Lewis, who actually runs the discipline committee, Lewis Redshaw, he wouldn't be able to comment on Super League because he races in it and he is a CSG member. And likewise, he wouldn't be able to comment on any of it. You, yourself, Smithy, you wouldn't be able to comment on Formula Challenge because you race in it. So that makes it a lot more fairer. Basically, what you do is you get a protest in via the website, and if not, you usually PM Chris or Lewis. One of them will be happy to help you. And if they deem it acceptable to put onto the forum, they'll put it on. And then, so say for example, I was protesting you because you were shilly billish. I would put my defendants. I would put my protest in. So it'd be my what's the opposite defendant? I can't remember now. It escaped me.
Aggressor. No, I don't know.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, I say that.
Attacker.
They put their complaint in and say why. And then,
isn't it?
Yeah, and then they'd you say the session when it happened, so the team would have to go through 20 minutes of a replay to have a look, and then you would see it go, oh, that's not very nice, and then you just put your defendant statement in. Then what they do, they look at both sides, look at the replay, and then decide from that. And then there's one or two opinions, maybe a few more, and then basically the majority vote gets a. So it happens. There's lots of different warnings. I mean, you can have a warning, 10-second penalty, a 20-second, 30-second disqualification if they deem it bad enough. Grid penalties as well if you do not finish. So everyone does get some. So for example, if I crashed out and you crashed out and then you had been in fault for that, you would still get the grid penalty for the next race. So it ensures that everyone does get a penalty, even though they thought, "Oh, we're tired, haha, I've escaped." No, you haven't. Serve your penalty. Don't be naughty. And you also get license points. Every driver gets 10 this year. I think it's across all series as well. So
Yes.
very good. So yeah, 10 license points, and then obviously, as I said, the more severe the penalty, the more license points you lose. On a disqualification's 5 and a warning's 1, for example. So be good, don't crash. And like I said, this has been a really good round so far. Can we keep it up?
Well, that is a question that I ask throughout my lifetime, and we shall soon find out quite what the performance stats are in.
Yeah.
It is a Monday night, obviously, and it's ITC. So it feels like it is time for a Smithy story.
Yeah!
because we haven't had one since last broadcast. So, what was the one I talked about last time?
Job interview.
Job interview. Ah, okay. Should we do embarrassing date story?
Yes. Yes.
So, since it's only going to take a few seconds. So, I went on a date with someone. It was very nice. They are a very sweet individual, and I am going on a second date with them this week.
Yay.
So, wish me luck for that one.
Good
And
luck.
Thank you. We're going for pub food because maybe it might not get quite so messy. However, they are wheelchair bound essentially, and so when you do like the like slightly awkward dance around everything, when you're like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I not do? Do I refer to it? Do I not do? And then I just done some terrible wheel jokes, and I told him, you know, when you do like the introduction to your current partner, whoever they are, and you do the I do sim racing, and you know it's not going to come across as cool, and you have to like proper play it in. So immediately, I was saying about nice wheels on your wheelchair and all of that stuff. Must go like a million miles an hour. He goes, well, I hear it goes faster than your racing, and I was like, damn!
Oh!
I've been owned already. But then I got my own back accidentally on purpose, because when I went to give a hug goodbye at the end, my coat caught his joystick, and so I started to levitate his chair backwards so his legs went up in the air, and I went, "Oh, mate, not in public."
Oh.
But it was all a bit awkward. So yes, we shall see if I injure the poor guy on date 2. We shall
Aw.
see. We shall see.
I
If
didn't know
not,
you'd done
then he'll
that.
probably run me over, and
Speed off.
yeah.
Evidently, he's faster than you, he says. So there we go.
Very true. I tell you what, though, you need to get something for disability people in future. You need to be able to get variable speeds on your wheelchairs, because I found out that it was either going too slow and I was walking too fast, or he then got into like top gear, no Clarkson, and was going too fast, and I was getting bloody knackered trying to keep up. It takes me to my all-time favourite thing when I saw an old granny on a mobility scooter, and she came off a curb wrong, and it just hit one of the curbs, and she'd done like a little 180 turn flip round the other way, and I was like, that's impressive.
Sick, bruv. Yeah. She was
Yes.
obviously a chav when she was younger.
Yeah, she's clearly been playing some Tony Hawk Pro Skate.
But no, sim racing. Yeah, I mean, I know a few people who do sim racing with a disability. I mean, Ben Warren is probably our most prominent sim racer, and he's actually a bloody good driver, if I say so myself. So,
Yes, indeed.
if there's
Great
anyone who is unfortunately does have a disability and is interested in sim racing, I mean, just ask. I mean, I'm sure anyone will be happy to help you. And like I said earlier, the community, brilliant. And yeah, I mean, don't think you can't do it, because you can. And there are quick people who do have disabilities. I know Ben uses hand controls, and I don't think he'd have any shame in saying that he is actually very quick. I know he does a lot of iRacing these days, and he's competitive. So, yeah, there we go. I mean, don't just come along. We love it. We love everybody, all shapes and sizes.
Yep, and tell me I've got plenty of size to my shape. So,
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
enough off the grid. Go on, clear it off. Or get in the pond.
Yes.
So, the pond that never was. So I'm surprised no one's ended up in there. So the weight penalties for this race, the top 5 all have weight again, so they've all been down the chip shop, and Matt Richards will now have to see what it's like to have 45 kilograms of penalty weight, and I wonder exactly how that will play to his race as we go round on the formation lap. What are your thoughts and predictions for this time round, Tom?
First of all, I think Matt and Kevin have got to the grid very early, actually. So, anyway, Matt, Kevin, Sven, top three with the weight this time. I think we're going to see Salo come through the field. Maybe not to win. I think he will be there or thereabouts, hanging around the top five, though. But I'm going to go home. The first of people with no weight, and he's home. For goodness sake, he's quick. So I'm going to go with home for this race, I think.
The man that should have won, arguably, the last championship is there in a good position. We've already lost Ben Hackerson, he's just disconnected. So our favourite Cloud Strife cosplayer is not with us. But the grid order then, we've got Matt Richards and Kevin Siggy on the front row. Row 2 is Sven de Vries and Lewis McGlade for Aurora and Ice Cold. Fifth on the grid is Chris Butcher, ahead of Adrian Holm in 6th for THR. Eric Strane is 7th for Ice Cold, ahead of the two 2020s of Ilja Brakala and Bart de Vos, with Rasmus Salo rounding out the top 10 for Bastvik. Then 11th is Geoffrey Fournier, 12th is Lewis Redshaw, ahead of John Munro 13th, Chris Shepherd 14th, then rounding out the top half of the field are Dawei Tapper and David Junt in 15th and 16th positions.
Rana Muru, 17th again. Started 17th last race, now we're there again for TTF. Mike Bell, 18th for MTR Motorsport. Martin Parr, 19th for Torrent. And Gergo Baldi got back up to 20th for that race, so very impressive from Gergo. 21st for Pedro Molim in his second race for CSU tonight. Gerhard Battal in 22nd, Menno Klont 23rd. 24th for Wopke Hoekstra in the second Enterprise. I think he's the new driver for this round, actually, so interested to see how he does. Scotty Moore for Apex Racing, 25th, made a good progress last race as well. Jack Mayer, 26th. Florian Engel, 27th. Sam Jones, 28th. Joel Pereira is in 29th. Lars Brookman, 30th. I wish he was 20th. And Tobias Olsen starts 32nd on the grid and last of your runners and riders.
So, a couple of tweets that have come in. Epic Racing, Chris Shepherd scores his first ever GPVWC points with 14th in race 1. So congratulations to Chris. He said that he was going off for a celebratory cigarette, which is not good for your sporting achievements, so naughty, naughty. However, Matthew Gale has just tweeted in, I have a worrying feeling that there will be a car in that pond by race 3. We share your sentiment with that, and we can't wait it.
It would be the best thing to ever happen, but the worst thing to happen as a driver, I think. Hey, I'm in a pond! How you can't even drive out of a pond?
Well, maybe it would do some kind of like dancing on ice kind of weird celebrity shenanigan. I remember doing a race department broadcast series. I can't remember what the actual cars were. It was V8 supercars, and we was round, I think it was, I want to say Pococoe Park, but I don't think it was. And there's a pond in the middle of that, and one of our drivers that races here occasionally actually ended up in it. It was Gary Lennon, and he was upside down in the pond. So it got forever known as Lennon's Pond.
Oh, bless him. Pereira seems to have had a bit of an issue on the formation lap. He's right back, just joining his grid slot. Had to get through a few people, but he was a bit funny into the final corner. But he's lined up, and I think we're ready to go, Smithy.
Well, here come the lights then for the second time of asking this evening at Snetterton for the UK round of ITC 2015 GPVWC. We are go! And Matt Richards gets away not too badly. Siggy gets better in the second phase, as does Sven de Vries. Adrian Holmes got such a good start. He's on the grass and he's getting round both McGlade and Butchie before they get to turn 1. It's 4 abreast further back. That's going to be butt-clenchingly close as they go around the curve and then go into the hairpin. And it is Siggy up in front ahead of Matt Richards. He's got the inside line, but Siggy covers it, goes straight across in a diagonal move. He's run out wide though. Matt Richards is trying to get back up the inside. It's all a bit blurry further back as there's a few bits of contact. But it looks as if everyone has vaguely got round, shockingly, once again. Pereira in trouble at the very, very back, but though we're all right up front. But it's Siggy that leads from Richards to Fries, Butcher, Holm, Bracalo, Strani, McGlade, Starlow to Voss. Your top 10 at the moment.
Baldy entered the hairpin backwards. Somehow nobody hits him. That was really impressive. He just got a left rear wheel onto the grass as he braked, and down to 21st he goes. Luckily no one hit him. I don't know how that happened, but yes, excellent start from Siggy. It was like the opposite of Richards from last race, really, wasn't it?
Was indeed. Oran Park actually was where Lennon went into the pond as Butcher smashes Siggy out of the way. Matt Richards down to third. Siggy on the grass. He's going to get no traction out of that corner. And look at them pile through. And he's down to 6th position once again there for Siggy. This is not working out well for the Enterprise GP driver at all. And now he's got the ice colds of Strane and McGlade busy sizing them up, and one might bump the other out of the way. He's got Holm in the THR to deal with almost as they go 2 by 2 up front. Butcher versus Richards, and Butcher gets through and takes the lead. De Vries hits Richards ever so slightly, runs up home and gets through. Very much a bashful entry into that chicane. They all come out still facing the right direction, but I think that was almost more luck than judgment. But it is Chris Butcher that bounces into the lead. Here comes Sven De Vries down the inside. Richards is looking unstable. Is he going to hold it? Just about in that Cosmo, but it's skidding around more than what you would do in a baby pamper as they come to the end of lap 1.
I think Richards is going to be thanking his lucky horses. He has a front-wheel drive. If that was rear-wheel drive, round he'd have gone as Mr. Holm. My man is going round the outside of Richards into turn 1. Can he make this stick? Oh, yes, he can. Look at that. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Oh, no! Ah! I lied!
No! Oh, no!
I'm sorry!
Oh, commentator curse from the Midgie Parky. And look at him as he goes down 6th position. Siggy just says, I'll have you back, mate. Bashes him out of the way. Adrian Holm down to 7th. Someone else there in trouble towards the back. Tobias Olsen has just disconnected. Gerhard Battil was spun off on the lap 1 as well, but he is still going, albeit 27 seconds off the pace. As they come flying down on lap 2, it's Butcher from De Vries, Richard, Strane, Bracalo. Then it's Siggy retaking Holm, who'd got back alongside, and it's John Munro there up into 11th position. He'd got round David Junt, who's gone up to 12th in the Aurora. That's good progress from him. So there's changes up and down the field as they continue clinging on, but we've kind of dropped to about 22 drivers running as Wupke Hoekstra and Bart de Vos both run off the track in 21st and 22nd. And Hoekstra's off again, and is that a spin? No, he just about scoops it up. Bart de Vos back into 21st, and he's lost out 11 positions so far in that first opening lap.
McGlade and Fournier for 9th and 10th. McGlade had a funny moment going onto the back straight, and as David Junt's going to make it 3 wide, John Moroso is going to make it 3 wide going into the chicane. Oh, Munro's going to the inside. Oh, two places at once or not. I need to stop talking about THRs. Every time I talk about them, they go off.
Commentator's curse, my friend, and that was looking from an inspired move, if not slightly kamikaze, to a fantastic one, back to where you started. So John Munro not getting anywhere in that one, unfortunately. Lars Brugman's been off the track as well and has rejoined in 28th position. But up front, it is still Butcher by De Vries, and they've dropped Strane, who's got past Matt Richards in all of that. So that's a swap for position overall. And here is Sven De Vries, takes a little peek out at Chris Butcher, but he's following him around turn 1 on lap 3. Butcher locking up his tyres in these spinning rounds. Same with Matt Richards. He's looking like that weight is really ruining his tyres. And the battle for 5 and 6. Here comes Holm down the inside of Ilja Bracalo. Bracalo not really defending heavily. I think you may know that the fight is not necessarily with that one. But Bracalo doing a good job in 6th so far.
Yep, De Vos up to 20th now. They've taken part in Palm, so up he goes through the order. Pedro Malim up to 19th as well, and Clont 18th, holding them all up a tad. But go on, Menno. You show us last race how good you are. You're defending. See how it goes. Lewis Redshaw and Chris Shepherd 13th, 14th. Lewis has a look into the left-hander here. Lewis can't quite get it stopped in enough for him to get past Shepherd, but he's still there, but can't quite do it. Shepherd keeps that place, and it's all single file through these next couple of corners.
It is, and that will infuriate the guy behind him, Gergo Baldi, who is now into the points for Walters Automotive, but he'll be eyeing up more than just the one. He needs to get his evening back on track so that he can capitalise on as many points as he can in the reverse race if he can get into the top 10 and maybe salvage a win potentially out of race 3 if he can. But the top lot are starting to spread themselves out a smidgy bit, although Siggy versus McGlade for 8th and 9th. McGlade has a little look, but doesn't dare into that chicane. And if anything, actually, Geoffrey Fournier, who we noticed was coming on strong towards the end of last round, is looking a little bit like he fancies an epic top 10.
No, good old Geoffrey, my teammate. For the last round, he says, yeah, he's oh, he's gone, there he goes. He's going up the inside of McGlade.
Hot pink.
Hot. And he's going to go hot into the corner. No, he's not. He's got past McGlade. Lovely move. Bit tappy. Oh, you cheeky monkey. But yes, tappy, but he is through. Don't know how happy Lewis will be about that, but he is through into 9th place. And Mr. Holm, hopefully, please don't go off this time. He is on the inside of Holm. Richards up to 4th already, so... Oh, can't quite get past Richards there, but up to 5th, and he is really bringing them all back in, so... Considering he had that little off, he's doing a good job to recover it.
Yes, indeed, and they're still not massive miles away from the top 3. Richards again, he's got a beautiful line into that hairpin, the ability to try and keep it on the inside to the outside, but unfortunately Holm has kept his nose in, and for Richards that drops him down into 5th position in that Cosmo Autosport car. And Bracalo and Salo are the next ones alongside. They're 3 seconds off the leaders, and Strane's having a look at De Vries. He's locked up and he nearly goes round, but somehow De Vries, I think, scared off the off the track there in defiance almost of he's not hitting me. Strane was almost in the wall essentially, or well, into the other car on that move, and that was more avoidance I think that got him that place. Salo goes past Bracalo for 6th.
I think there's been an incident involving Pedro Malim and Menno Clont. What's happened here? Oh, I think Bart de Vos and Pedro Malim had it coming together down in 19th, 20th. They're now 21st. And...
De Vos is out.
De Vos is out, yes. I don't know what happened there. It lagged out as it happened, but... Bit incident there behind Menno Clont. So Menno Clont in 18th place. Hold it. Oh, he goes wide actually, but... It's holding everyone behind him. Go on, Menno. Do it again.
Lewis McGlade has just lost out to 10th place. Here comes Monroe, and Fournier's too busy not even going anywhere, and actually that's kind of let all 3 of them swapsy around. So Monroe goes from 11th to 9th, McGlade stays in 10th, and Fournier goes from 9th to 11th. Bad move for Jeffrey in the Rainbow Brigade.
Lol, those places. But yes, yeah, he sort of got the chicane. The first part just came wrong. Tried to overcorrect it, and then overcorrected it too much. As Bart de Vos now leaves the game. Won't be too much of a happy bunny. As Holm, is he making any inroads? Not quite. He's got 2:01. A second quicker than Sven de Vries, who did actually have that off in the first round. But Strachan actually got the fastest lap of the race, 2:00.4. So he is catching Mr. Butcher. Ever slow slightly.
0.7 of a second difference. Florian Engel is our latest retirement. He has parked it up after 4 laps. So that's our 3rd retirement, already more than last race, and someone's off the track. Oh, it was Dowie Tapper. Mike Bell goes through and takes 16th position. Tapper then dives back through, retakes the 16th out of the hairpin. To turn 3 he has it. So Mike Bell still no points in the MTR this evening. He's not had much as Mika Salo. Rasmus Salo takes 5th position from Matt Richards down at turn 4. And that was a nice clean move there from Salo. Your bet has now been unpopped from the cork. But he's got to be quick if he wants to catch Eric Strane, because Strane is all over the back of Butchie.
Well, we saw it in the first race when Siggy initially was behind Matt. I mean, if Strane can't get past Butchie, he's just going to hold them all up, and that could give Sven and Adrian a chance. I mean, maybe even Salo a chance behind to get past. It depends what Strane can do. Strane is a very quick driver and incredibly clean as well, so I'm sure he will not be a silly bunny as he tries to overtake Butchie to go into the chicane now. He's a little bit closer. Indeed,
we've just lost Menno Clont, who has parked up and retired, probably as a result of that incident with Bart de Vos, who saw him retire too. Strane shadowing Butcher's every move, and that's the first mistake there from Chris Butcher. 2 wheels on the grass. Just about scoop it up if you get it in the right degree of angle out of the corner. These 2 well clear by 2 seconds from the De Vries and Holm battle. And Salo not quite onto the back of that yet, although he's broken Matt Richards. Line they go, and we're only at half distance, so plenty of time to make the move, but Holm's not waiting. And will Strane wait? We've got to get proper double-barrelled eyeballs round turn 1. Butcher takes the outside. Strane's going to hold on for the inside into the next one. De Vries holds off Holm behind as well. Strane, what's he going, inside or outside? He's going for the outside. Butcher's late on the brakes. They're both locking their wheels dramatically into the hairpin. But Butcher keeps it. De Vries keeps it from Holm as well. So it's status quo as you were. Piccadilly record, but it'll be a vinyl from the 70s.
Oh, Shepherd has mucked up the exit of the hairpin and lost out on 13th place to Gergo Baldi, who's doing a nice impressive comeback drive through the field. So 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, all very close together. Baldi, Shepherd, Redshaw and Tapper. Very important actually that. Oh, off you go.
No, Strane around the outside of Butcher into turn 4. He's going to make that one stick. That's clean driving the wheels off the Butchie as they come side by side. One's on ice cold. Oh no, one's on the grass more like. And that was just running out of grip, unfortunately for him. And Holm there clouting Sven de Vries a little bit. And actually Strano then clouting Butcher a little bit too. So it's all getting a little bit more argy-bargy. And we find this as Gogo Baldy's off the track. And he's rejoined in 16th. Through goes Shepherd, Redshaw and Tapper. But we see this as the evening goes on, as Strane has another look at Butcher. Things get more desperate as the evening goes on. But desperate is not a move here. He's going for the lead. Strane's got it. Can Butcher go up for the inside? Yes, he can. Side by side, the two goes. They go into the third corner side by side. Strane's got it round the outside. There's contact between the two. Don't take each other off now, peeps. Otherwise, I'll let poor Tom Parker take over and then we'll have a nuclear missile hit and explode into the pond. Side by side, they continue round for about 5 corners. Strane's got it, but he's gone in deep. And Butcher will have that one on the exit, surely. And he does. He retakes the lead. This is classic racing here for ITC.
Excellent, excellent stuff. Just behind that, 3rd, 4th and 5th. What happened? Chicane. Holm had the outside, got to the inside, was alongside Mrs. de Vries. He's going to go on the outside now. Can he not do anything about it? No, he can. Too scared to say anything about Adrian. He will probably spin. But yes, Salo has caught up to this, and Salo did have a run after Sven blocked, or we didn't block off fairly. Oh, is he going on the outside? Can Adrian do this? Wow. Round the outside, can he do it? Oh, Sven a bit. Nope, he's not going through. But yes, into chicane, it was Sven, Holm, and Salo. Salo really has got up. Oh, Holm's a bit wide. Can he? Oh, he's just held it, but
oh, Salo.
It's getting a bit leery.
It is a little bit. I tell you what, I've got flares on for that because that's how leery and loud it's going to get. De Vries keeping 3rd position just about, but Holmes doing the switcheroo so that he can try and get the inside on the exit. Great traction out of that corner from the THR driver. Goes in because there's not quite enough straight to make it stick as we go into this little complex section. But round the outside he goes again, and De Vries having to really cover off every single line. Strane is all over the back of Butcher too. And it's just as well that this battle is going on for 3rd or 4th, because Holm and Salo would have eaten up that lead duo any day. But they've, as it is, they've stayed 2 seconds. But here we go, cross-side again. Strane versus Butcher. Take 2 down into the chicane. This time Strane's looking a little bit like he wants to lean more than before. Butcher is keeping it cleaner this time, and actually that's looking more...
Oh, De Vries off! De Vries off, he's lost both places.
And Salo!
Salo! Oh no, he hit home! Oh, it's all kicking off.
Love nudge.
And Sven's back in front!
He's like, no, give me it back. It's like a conveyor belt of silliness going on. And watch out for Ilja Bracalo on the back of this now, because they've all held each other up to such a degree. Bracalo, Richards and Munro is onto the back of this as well, as here comes Strane across the line for the lead. Once again, round the outside for Chris Butcher. This didn't work last time, but he looks more alongside this time round. They're running out wide. It's side by side on the exit for the lead of the ITC round 2 here at Snetterton. He's got his nose ahead, but can he be last on the late breakers? No, he cannot. Butcher was later in, and he's got the tighter apex on the entrance. Look at him, he pushes him out wide. Same with De Vries and Holm just behind. It is all go here around the Snetterton circuit, and Strane's going late on the late breakers in again. They're rubbing wheels, rubbing bodywork, trading bait as they come out of the exit, and this time it looks as if Strane's got the inside, and is he going to take the lead? He's got a full car length ahead as we come down to the next turn, the end of Sector 1 completed, 57 thousandths of a second between them, and Strane takes the lead of the Snetterton Grand Prix. De Vries, Holmes, Salo, Bracalo, all nose to tail behind, all the way back to McGlade in 10th.
And breathe. That was epic. That was amazing. Butcher did just a little bit too deep into that hairpin when Strane took the lead and didn't have a chance to fight back. But yes, Strane through to the lead as the battle for 3rd rages onwards and upwards.
I tell you what, there's very few things that are raging harder than that battle for 3rd position, but if there was anything, it would be on a Tom Parker. However, Adrian Holm is going on. I had to say it's all true. Holm on the back of De Vries, and we're coming down to that sacred chicane again.
Oh, Redshaw, what has happened? Why is he in 17th? But yes, off you go.
Salo looks like he's going to try and penalise the slightly misplaced Holm, but there's not enough time or positions to do it. Butcher's not giving up on Strane yet. There's still nose to tail, by the way. As Bracalo is looking quite nifty, and we missed it, but John Munro has overtaken Kevin Siggy for 7th and 8th position whilst all that was going on. McGlade has got past Richards for 9th and 10th, so it's all kicking off, and that looks like De Vries has got a dodgy exit out of the turn, and look at them, they're all clumping each other to try and get the slipstream. Holmes pushing De Vries down the start-finish straight. He doesn't want to pull out yet, because sadly that will mean that Salo will stick it in.
Butcher's in the lead! Butcher's taking the lead! He's gone up the inside of Strana into turn 1. Excellent. Sorry, Smithy.
Look at that. That's a diamond of a move. Look, rubbing wheels again. This is just the reverse of before. Look what he's done. He's done exactly the same as before. He's run out Strana onto the curb. Strana there, unable to get the traction off the exit for that, and it's all a little bit too rubby wheelie, isn't it? On lap 9 of 10. It's getting desperate.
Wopke's round. Oh. Wopke's round. Oh, be careful. There's a Lars coming.
Brookmar and Moore who go through into 19th and 20th position. That was Hoekstra from 19th.
Salo's hit De Vries! Oh, Salo's taken De Vries off. They've both lost a bucket load of time.
Oh, Rasmus flashing his lights. I don't know if that's a sorry or not, but it's rejoined him in 11th. And look at that, David Junt up into 10th position, yoinking it away from everyone else. There's still one more lap after this for the drivers to take each other off or just overtake cleanly, one or the other. It could happen. As who was that? Junt taking Richards for 9th and 10th, and Richards now running out wide. Salo goes through up into 9th position. Jeffrey Fournier may well have Richards too, and Richards has gone from 8th to 11th very, very quickly and may find himself in 12th if Jeffrey Fournier has anything to do with it. And I think he's about to have everything to do with it as they come down the straight. Got to be careful because they may well end up into Salo as Richards cuts across. Someone locking up their brakes ridiculously into that chicane, but everyone gets through.
Yeah, look at the THRs, they've really benefited from that. 3rd and 4th now, excellent job from the two of those. Butcher Strana's on the inside for this idle little bit. Oh, and he's through! Strana's through again, Butcher's going to go, nope, I'll try and have that back. But no, he doesn't do it. Excellent job from Strana there. Absolutely beautiful. Brilliant. Now he's got a bit of a gap as well for this last lap.
That exit out of that final corner was superb.
Excellent. And that is the beauty of that Volvo car. Oh, Siggy's gone! Siggy's thought, nope, none of that.
Yes, he's disconnected or left entirely, one or the other, but he is out. Kevin Siggy is retired from this race. Strane defends down into turn 2, this fabled hairpin of woe that has seen so much side-by-side action and trading of paint. Holm is 3rd, Munro 4, McGlade, then Bracalo. De Vries is then bottle corking up with the two Auroras, 7th and 8th. They've benefited. Well, Junt has, De Vries hasn't. Then it's Salo, Fournier, Richards, Shepherd, Baldy, Tapper. Then Mike Bell was all on his own in 15th position. So I'd say there are point scorers, barring any last-minute kamikaze moves. However, the order from 7th down to 14th is anyone's guess, to be fair. Classic racing.
Indeed. I wouldn't say it was clean this last round, but
no, bit grubby.
We've seen more moves, so it's been tit for tat, really, isn't it? As I think they've all
Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, I don't know that one. But yeah, they're going through single file now through the complex in the middle. So unless, like you say, kamikaze moving to the chicane, maybe could see from 7th to 14th. God, blimey, look how close they all are. Ridiculous.
Like an opening lap once again. Baldy on Shepherd, I think, will be the one that will be most likely to happen for 12th and 13th. However, I'm keeping the eye up on the front because Butcher had a little go at Strane. Didn't quite make it stick into the first chicane, but it's brought him up close enough so that he can have a go on the second one. And Strane a bit angular on the exit as something's happened to Baldy. He's lost out. He's gone behind Tapper for 13th, so that move did not work for him. Strane then into the final corner. And that's the exit he needed, and I think he's going to keep it. Round 2 has been an absolute corker of a race. Butcher flashing his lights. I don't think Strane is going to say anything though. Eric Strane wins round 2 for Ice Cold Racing. An excellent race between the two. Chris Butcher 2nd position, either of those deserved that win. Adrian Holm then 3rd position for THR, beating home teammate John Monroe, who's had a great rise up the order to 4th. Then it's Lewis McGlade 5th, Ildra Picalo an excellent 6th, De Vries and Junt, the two Auroras 7th and 8th, Bastfix Rasmus Salo 9th after yet another spin. Jeffrey Fournier grabs top 10 for Epic, ahead of Matt Richards. Chris Shepherd getting the points again, 2nd time in a row. Dowie Tapper, Gergo Baldy gets 2 points. And Mike Bell grabs the MTR into the points for the first time in a while, and he'll be delighted with that. Your other finishers then: Lewis Redshaw 16th, Martin Palm 17, Lars Brugman 18, Marino Muro 19, Wopke Hoekstra is in 20th ahead of Pedro Mellem, Jack Mayer 22nd, an improvement for him, Scotty Moore 24th behind Gerhard Battil. And then we're just waiting for Sam Jones and Joel Pereira, again the last two, to score home, but both on the lead lap. Your retirements: Kevin Siggy, Menno Klont, Florian Engel, so both Kernos out, Bart de Vos and Tobias Olsen and Ben Hackerson.
They're still racing around the track, look, Strana and Butcher. But
Do
yes,
they know it's over yet?
probably
Do they
not.
know it's
Why
Christmas time?
not? Do they know? I don't know, it's still going round, but... Yes, Fast Lewis Redshaw, I'd be very gutted. 16th, that is just one away from what could be our reverse pole, which I will explain once the session has finished. There we go, Eric, congratulations.
Oh, wow. I'm a bit
anything.
sweaty. I don't know about you, Tom.
There was a lot of action, wasn't there? A few dubious moves, I think it's safe to say. But yes, action filled at least.
And not quite the win there for you, Joshy, our cameraman extraordinaire, but how was that for you, mate?
Well, I almost had a cardiac arrest from all the action on track there. Luckily, I didn't know. It wasn't a very action-packed race. Obviously, you know, some well done to Eric for the win. Very good battle with Chris as well. I wish I could do this more often, to be honest with you.
Why not?
Absolutely. Wow.
Very
What is
good.
that? What's that awful song by The Cause? You leave me breathless, breathless, or whatever it is.
Similar.
All of those.
Yeah. There's a lot of 2x2 actually in that race. Ice Cold and Lewis McGlade and Eric Strada 1st and 5th. Very good. THR 3rd and 4th. Aurora 7th and 8th. Epic 10th and 12th. So a lot of two-man people up there in the top 12. So that's good for those teams. Very
Which is
good.
interesting because actually this circuit has quite a mixture of corners on, and you would have thought that actually you would have potentially had a bit of a field spread with it being quite a driver-dependent series. This.
Indeed, yes. So, well, it's nice to see that the cars are actually quite equal. So
Yeah.
it's not one. I mean, I know in the first season the rear wheel, or was it the front wheel drive, was ridiculously fast compared to the rear wheel drive. The only reason anyone couldn't do anything in the front wheel drive because they're all bad drivers. That's horrible. No,
Same
no.
as it is, there, Tom.
But
Same as
basically,
it is.
I mean, in that year, I think Thomas Jacobs was the highest front wheel drive finish. I mean, the only person I know that could. I mean,
wow.
the only person who took the fight to Toby was me. Lol, ego. But yeah.
Oh, lol, your disconnections.
Oh, it happened again at Monaco. Why?
I know. So you're the wrong person to ask, but are there any things that you can do to stop yourself being disconnected?
I don't know, but if anyone has any tips, please Skype Parky Jr. or Facebook me at. But yes.
Or hashtag GPVWC.
Yes, do that. Please help me because it's happened a few times now. But what you can do, I mean, obviously,
Help the Parker.
Please. But obviously, the main things: make sure you don't have Skype. Other things running like Overwolf. TeamSpeak is usually ran, obviously for TeamSpeak shenanigans, team engineers, etc. But usually try and keep only things you need running. TeamSpeak, R Factor, that's your lot. Don't put any silly things. If you're broadcasting, have that on. That's it.
Yes.
Anything else is just it will kill you in terms of resources. Lol. So please, for the love of the Lord, don't do that because I mean it helps with the lag as well. And when you're I don't know if you've had this Spiffy, but when you're racing people with lag, it's absolutely horrible. I mean, I think I raced Siggy in Super Cup not long ago with lag, and it's impossible to do. Canapino's one in Super League, for example. I mean, I know Lewis had a lot of trouble with him in Super League Turkey because you don't know where he is, you don't know where he's going, and it makes it really hard to race. So please, if you're going to race, try and at least, I mean, it's a bit harder for people in Australia or Asia or South America, etc. It's a bit harder for them.
Yes.
But do everything you can to like take all the programs off. Make sure, I mean, even giving your computer cooled. I mean, if graphics get overheated, boom, bye-bye. And just make sure all the settings are correct in the thing, in your PLR, in your multiplayer INI, your user data. And hope to Christ you don't disconnect. And sadly, it's happened to me twice now whilst being in good positions. So yeah, tips please.
And he's not talking about the monetary variety.
Oh,
So we are into the final warm-up. As ever, it is a 3-race trio of trauma that we get here. We're at Snetterton today, but we have several other events that I'm seriously looking forward to in this calendar. So after today, we go to Sentul for the Indonesian round.
first
well-
ever Indonesian Grand Prix. First ever one.
Yes. I get excited for that. Then Manfield, I do like that circuit in New Zealand. Suzuka for touring.
Yeah,
then-
little Suzuka, yeah, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry
the
to
mini
jump
one.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Mini one, I think. Otherwise, you'd be like doing about 3 laps and then we'll be over. Jerez, which, if memory serves me right, if we're still using the one from the Gentleman's Racing Club, has the worst gravel ever. So please improve that, please. Because I remember going off on it in like lap 3 or 4, and I was still getting out of it by lap 10.
Oh,
I was
you.
just doing that little shimmy to the side. Everyone was like, "Smithy, just give up." And I was like, "No, I always
Don't
finish.
do it.
I will never give up."
Good.
Zolder, love that circuit. Then the Red Bull Ring, off to the Verano circuit for Italy, Montreal, and then ending up at Portland, which I don't think anyone really wants to end up at, but we're going there anyway for the final round in America.
I like Portland. Portland's a good little track. I like that one.
Yeah.
Kevin Sicky, we were talking about the disconnect I had in Monaco. He had exactly the same thing. He's didn't lose disconnection to TeamSpeak. He just lost it to R Factor. So mysterious, very mysterious indeed.
Well, Tom Jacobs has just tweeted in #GPVWC live and #GPVWC because he's going for all the hashing of the tagging.
All of the tags.
Oh yes. Have you got the network settings options set to LAN/5000? And that's what I was thinking in my head, but I couldn't remember what the blimmin' line was.
Don't know. I'll have a look at that. Thank you, Tom.
Because that's at what point, if you've got it set to a lower thing, it'll automatically assume you've disconnected when actually your ping is not that huge.
Interesting. I shall have a look at that, Mr. Jacobs. Thank you very much. Oh,
No,
what-
thank you very much.
Yes.
Keep in all of your tips and tricks so that we can keep Tom on the track.
Please. Or at least keep me in the race. Even if I finish 16th, that's alright. I finished the race.
I'd love
reverse
a
grid.
16th. Yeah, what number are we going for?
We have got number, drumroll please, it is number 13, Mr. Tapper. Mr. Tapper is on pole,
Yay!
number 13, so, yeah, fun times.
Well, let's do hope that, quite frankly, no one taps that rear end into turn 1 or 2, because otherwise that will be a wee bit of a drama llama. Got a minute left to go until warm-up has ended. With that reversed grid, who are you thinking is in a prime seat this time around, Tom?
Diddly-dum-dum-dum. Where does Silo finish?
7th.
So he's pretty much the same place, isn't he? Sven,
I think.
Boldy. Oh, Boldy just missed that one because he finished 14th, didn't he? That. So that just shows that one little incident at the end cost him reverse pole. I'm sure he's pretty gutted for that. I don't know. It's cool. Let's have a look. It'll be. I think we can see a new person on the podium now. I'll make that prediction at least.
Excellent. Any final predictions from our cameraman extraordinaire, who may now have not had a cardiac arrest?
I don't think Sven has any weight, does he?
Nope.
I'm
No,
going to
he
go
doesn't.
him for the win.
Coakley. Well, we have thrown our dice into the ring. I'm going to be a conscientious objector because otherwise I would be an Aryan, and I feel that that is a little bit bad taste. To throw my hat in the ring.
Yes, I think it's going to be action-packed. Let's just... I'll put it that way. Action-packed, I think is the word to use.
Packing heat. All the way from start line to checkered flag, I think.
I would agree with you there, as warm-up is coming to an end eventually.
Of course, if you want to get involved with the league, pop across to gpvwc.com, get yourself signed up. we've got plenty of other things apart from tin tops to play with. We've got World GT kicking off. We've still got the career ladder where you can get yourself in on the open series if you don't want to commit to anything, or if you do fancy committing to something. A, I'm available for parties. B, you can join yourself up for the career ladder and get yourself a slot in somewhere if you fancy it.
Also, tomorrow, Atlantic Series starts off.
Ah, yes!
Tomorrow is the first round around Barber Motorsports Park on R Factor 2 with the IndyCar, so I look forward to seeing that. You have Matthew Churgwin and Thomas Jacobs, your commentators for that, and I cannot wait to see that.
Yes, the new frontier where we start testing out R Factor 2 and all of its fun. My copy of Project Cars arrived today for PlayStation 4 because I assumed that it was going to be more console than sim. I may have been right. But it's great to see a collection of games now out there for the conscious professional sim racer.
Yes, and obviously Dirt Rally as well, so they're making a foray into that. So it's getting...
Surprisingly good, that, isn't it?
I've heard very good things about it, yes.
Get it.
No, I'm useless at Rally.
Me too, but get it.
I know there's an unofficial little league actually going. If you ask Nick Rowland, I think, one of our mainstays at the league, I think there is a Dirt Rally little, not championship, like a little event you could do. So pop on
cool.
Facebook as we go into.
Attention, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Comes out so loud. Great. Anyway, I look forward to that. I know Calvin Holmesy was looking at doing a GPVWC leaguey thing as well. So one of the two will have one of those. No doubt, I am sure. And it's not just these kind of things we do. Did you ever play Gene Rally?
No, before my time, or I didn't know about it. One of the two.
I forget that I'm so much older than everyone and that no one's illegal. So penalty weight then, 45 kilograms to Strani, 36 to Butcher, 27 to Holm, 18 to Monroe, and again 9 for Lewis Berglade, who just wants that 9 kilograms of weight for any which way but loose. So the grid then, Dowie Tapper then leads the way for Vodball Racing. Chris Shepherd alongside for Epic Racing. Then third, Matt Richards for Cosmo, that's suspicious. Ahead of, I didn't notice that he was there, that could be good. Jeffrey Fournier fourth for Epic, both Epics on the top two grid rows. Fifth, Erasmus Salo ahead of David Junt in sixth. Ben De Vries in seventh, ahead of Ilja Bacalo 8th. Lewis McGlade is in ninth, ahead of John Monroe rounding out the top 10. Adrian Holm is in 11th for THR, Chris Butcher 12th for Zurich, 13th Eric Strani for Ice Cold, ahead of Gergo Baldi 14th for Walters Automotive. As you say, Tom, kicking his teeth that he made a mistake at the very end. Mike Bell is in 15th for MTR Motorsports, just ahead of Lewis Redshaw rounding out the top half of the grid for CSG Racing.
Martin Palm, 17th for Torrent Motorsports. Them and Bob Ball actually singularly represented today, so it's only one from each of those teams. Lars Bushman in Zurich, 18th. Rauno Muru, 19th place, TTF. Wopke Hoekstra, top 20 in last round. Enterprise GP in 20th. Prix Malin, 21st again. I think he likes that 21st. Jack Mayer, 22nd. Can he make any more progress? He's had a good debut so far. He's kept it clean, kept in no damage last round, so can he get points from the young Englishman? Gerhard Battle is in 23rd, Scotty Moore 24th, making his steady rise up the grid as well actually. Sam Jones 25th, Pereira 26th. Kevin Siggy, after that unfortunate disconnect, is actually starting from the pit lane in 27th place, so that's a lie, he's not 27th, he's in the pit lane. Rob Mason 28th for YTF1, and Ben Haxon has managed to get back to the grid in time for what will be 29th. So we've lost a couple of runners and riders.
We have indeed, and it's both the Kernos, I think, are missing.
Yes.
They've not rejoined, so clearly they're trying to recapture their ability to turn up for races like Super League last year. So, well guys, let's hope that Florian Engel and his teammate will be okay with that one.
Oh, Mark. I know Menno was replacing Mark for today. So
yes.
All different as Tapper is coming out of the front corner. I think this is going to be a corker, especially with Matt and Rasmus up there, so it's gonna be good.
I'm getting myself some habanero sauce because this one's gonna be spicy.
Oh yeah. Chicken spice. I'm gonna have fajitas for dinner. I think. I'll tell you the ingredients. Yeah. Hashtag GPWC Live. Red or yellow peppers, please. I don't know.
Oh, I was gonna say green tomatoes, but that's not. Yeah. Bring on the Ainsley Harriet. There's a lot of YouTube clips of Ainsley Harriet looking slightly like a stalker as well. Anyway, here come the lights for the third and final time this evening at the Snetterton circuit for GPVWC. We are going racing! Off and away we go. Tapper off the line better than Shepherd. Richards is better than the pair of them, and everyone else actually looking like there's a 6-car breakaway and everyone else behind. But Tapper's got the lead then. Richards up to second. Shepherd being pushed out wide down to third. Sarlo's got past Fournier too, so neither Epic's great off the line. One of the Auroras on the grass further back, that was Junt. And then they come skidding down into this hairpin, and there's contact up front. They're just about making their way through. Oh, there's problems. It's Sam Jones spinning round at the back. Chris Butcher's out.
And Boldy.
And Boldy. Oh, and someone else.
Is that disconnections or is that...
I'm not sure. It looks like we've stabilised. Here's Tapper and Richards, though, side by side for the lead. Shepherd's trying to get his little nosy in there too. Matt Richards retakes the lead from Dowie Tapper. Shepherd, Sarlo, Fournier, De Vries, Junt, McGlade, Holman, Bricado, top 10.
Yes, that's shook things up a little bit. A couple of disconnects. That's not the ideal start for those two. Well, they can't start at all. But yes, Butcher's back into the lead. This could be an interesting one. Is he going to run off again as he did in race 1? We should have a look.
It'll chuck him up into the championship contention if he can. Eric Strano's just got round John Munro for 11th and 12th positions. Munro's not having any of it and wants to go back through again. Back up front, Richards there has got enough of a gap over Tapper. Shepherd, Sarlo, Fournier, they're all going in one at a time into the chicane right the way back. To the mid-pack actually, and then it's Lars Brugman and Mike Bell battling over 14th and 15th going through the chicane side by side. Brugman looks like he is going to lose out to Mike Bell, indeed he does, for the time being, although I don't think he's done yet. Everyone else has survived. Kevin Siggy's only is 45 seconds off the pace though, having had a very long sector 1 to get himself sorted, but Tapper's under pressure from Shepherd for second position.
Just Jack Mayer makes a move into 18th place. He's actually impressing me. First race at the league, and he's doing a really good job actually. So shout out to Jack, doing a fantastic job for Walters Automotive. Is there any more side by side? Yeah, not quite. Not down here anyway.
No, back up the front though. Shepherd is having a go at Tapper down the outside into the chicane, and that is going to be a brave one. And if anything, actually, Rasmus Sarlo then nearly gets pinched off the side as Lars Brugman has just disconnected as well. So that's our third retirement of the race already, and we've only had 1 lap completed. Sarlo around the outside of Fournier to try and hold off his 4th place. He's in a proper Epic Racing Team Sandwage, and I think he wants to hold the Mayo and get himself back out in front of these two. Oh, as someone gives Fournier a smash from behind, it's Sven De Vries. He's well known for his bumping antics. But that was rather a little bit of too much of a smasheroo. Scotty Moore's off the track in 23rd position.
Oh, Tapper was off the track as well. He's managed to hold the... Oh, and Sarlo decided to give Chris Shepherd's left rear a bit of a kiss. Nothing of it though. Tapper did go off the track, but he did manage to hold the position. Chris wasn't quite close enough. So both the Epics doing a good job. They've managed to maintain position. So fingers crossed for them. As both the Auroras behind as well. They're looking pretty menacing. As De Vries onto the slipstream. John also there. Is he going to make a move on the outside of the chicane? He will get the inside for the right-hand part of it. Sven round the outside. And, ooh, bit of a push. But can't quite do it. Yes, a lot of push, but can't quite make it stick.
A bit like a pregnancy that will just keep going and going and going. It's not going to push out a decent end result. We've got a breakaway of 13 at the moment. Redshaw the last of them, Mike Bell and Martin Palm the other 2-point scorers. Then it's already dropped off into dribs and drabs behind into mini groups. So those are your battlers, but this is all playing perfectly into the hands of Matt Richards as he completes lap 2 and goes on to lap 3, and he is 1.9 seconds clear of Tapper and Shepherd. Shepherd having another look round the outside. That didn't work last time. If he does it wrong. Three wide
into turn 1 for 10th, 11th place. Carlo, Munro and Lewis Redshaw all sort of started up before they get to the corner, but oh, it was Lewis. Lewis, are you going to keep it there? He is. Good to say from Lewis, but yeah, that was a bit messy. Sorry to cut over you there, but that was fun, I should say.
Well, Bracale retakes Munro there for 11th and 12th. Munro was much higher up, and he has lost out quite dramatically in all of this opening skirmish that has taken place. Tapper still ahead of Shepherd, but Shepherd having to defend there from Sarlo. Sarlo pokes out in the Bastwick. Shepherd's having a look at Tapper. That's all going to get a bit messy, and Sarlo takes the position actually in a very clean move against Chris Shepherd. Well done there from Rasmus. He's had a lot of bashing around, not necessarily his fault for most of it, to be fair. However, that was a nice clean move for him, up to third position on the podium slot.
I've decided to stop saying when people are doing well because Jack Mayer had an incident in the last lap, so he's down to about 24th, which is a shame because he was, like I said earlier, he was doing a really good job. But there is experience to be had, and he will be there, I am sure, one day. As Junt is now going to have a look onto Fournier. Sven de Vries got passed into 5th without us seeing it. Junt, is he going to have a look at the inside? It's going to be brave there. He sort of thinks and then sort of backs out of it. But yes, this Jeffries are going to do quite a lot of pressure at the moment from the Auroras.
He is, and Junt has already poked his rear end into him a couple of times. Back to your Jack Mayer and Scott Moore, 23rd and 24th. They're side by side into the chicane. Moore and Mayer have already swapped positions 3 times in the last couple of corners, and that's looking too messy. Mayer actually does the better collection, and Joel Pereira there looks like he's going to pick up the pieces, goes up to 24th, Moore down to 25th. I tell you what, it's all over the wooden spoon positions, but you'd never know it, and that's the beauty of GPVWC.
Everyone fighting for the last place. That's the beauty of sim racing, as you say. Epic v Aurora twice over. De Vries up into 4th. Well done, De Vries. Up into close, clean move up the inside of Shepherd. And Fournier still defending away from Junt.
Sarlo past Tapper as well.
Excellent. Is Junt going to have a look? Not quite all. Jeffrey gives Chris a bit of a push, saying, go, 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 I'm under attack. So, nice and bumpy. As is that Sarlo past Tapper? It is. So that means he has to run after Mr. Richards. Can he get that 2.5-second gap down before the end of this race?
Well, I forgot who said it may be Sarlo. Wasn't that you?
Maybe.
Not sure, but yes, he's up to second. Looking quite good. Tapper now down to third. De Vries there. If he can just get a clean run of some overtakes, he could well be in the mix too. Impressed with both these epics being able to hold on epically well in 5th and 6th. Junt as well ahead of McGlade, and that's Strane and Holm side by side, and Holm is retaking Strane. He's been behind him since the end of lap 1 where Strane got past, and actually it's around this spot that I think he did so, and Holm has got back round and through again. He's now got to defend down this long old straight, these two old stalwarts and old adversaries, and they're making sure that they continue the pantomime well and truly well into round 3 of this race. Holm stays ahead of Strane just for now. Bracale keeping a watching brief in 11 with Munro and Redshaw just behind. Bell and Palm in their own little scrap for 13th and 15th positions over the final points paying slots. They're 2 seconds off, so could quite easily concertina back up into that. Then it's Muru Hackerson, who's done very well from the back of the grid, up to 17th. Hoekstra, Batil, Mason in the top 20, and Pereira has got round Jack Mayer as well, as Pedro Melem tries to overtake them for 22nd and 23rd, with Moore, Jones and Siggy your last runners.
Richards is still holding the gap very well actually to Sarlo. They've done, oh wow, Sarlo was 1,000th of a second faster than Matt that last lap.
Going to take a while.
Oh, Tapper, where are you going? Oh, he saved it. Brilliant. I was going to say actually before that happened, Tapper was actually holding station with Sarlo quite well. I'm actually quite impressed. It's all jumped down the inside of Fournier. And he's pushed him out wide and says, I will have that, thank you. Up into 6th place goes David. But Jeffrey has got the inside. I think David might actually be letting him back past. I think he has. Jeffrey back up to 6th.
It, didn't it?
Yes, sir. Good man, David. So we'll see, but he's going to go to the inside again. Oh, making it 3 wide, are we? Nope, not quite. As McGlade's too far back. Is David going to have a look into this left-hander? I think he's going to try it. Can't quite make it, though. So Jeffrey keeps his 6th position.
Does indeed. I know Lewis McGlade is always a fan of a threesome, but I don't think he wanted to stick himself entirely into that ménage à trois, because that corner has seen plenty of collisions before. And here comes Junt, and that's not on. Down into that corner, that was only going to end up in collision, as De Vries is on Tapper for 3rd and 4th positions, and Tapper there leans round the outside and actually keeps the position despite going the long way round the corner, and that's worked out very well there. Sven onto the rear, taking as much slipstreaming action as he possibly can. Sarlo's taken 3/10 of a second out of Richards, and De Vries takes third position out of Douwe Tapper, and that was a beautifully done move from Sven De Vries, showing that he can do some very good racing when he wants to. David Junt is flashing his lights at Geoffrey Fournier, but I don't actually think that he really deserves to be doing so.
Yeah,
as
flashing each other quite a bit in the last couple of laps. Oh, cool, I was getting a bit...
not the two I'd want to see flashing myself.
Yeah, it's getting a bit hot-headed between these two. I think we need to calm it down a little bit.
Sam Jones has been off the track and has rejoined in last, 26th of the 26 runners, so that's Siggy up 1. As they cross the line to complete lap 5 and start lap 6 into the second half of this race, and Matt Richards 1.8 clear now from Sarlo. He took 5/10 of a second out of him in that lap alone. De Vries and Tapper are pulling themselves along. They're taking Shepherd vaguely with them. Then it's a gap back to Fournier, Junt, McGlade, Holm, Strane, Munro, Bracalo, Redshaw. And that's Bracalo going for Munro for 11th and 12th position around the outside. Ilja, great to see him having a bit of luck for a change in ITC. He's perennially the retiring man because he's always in problems. Not necessarily his own fault really either. So it's good to see him having a nice string of an evening of good results.
Yeah, he did go qualifying as well, actually. So it's nice to see Ilja from the GRC days, if I remember, very, very quick. So very good. But Mr. Sarlo has cut that gap down to just over 1.5 seconds. He was half a second quicker that last lap. So Sarlo is in the mood for a win, I would say. It is now down to less than 1.5 seconds as we go into the second half of this lovely Snetterton track. Oh, what's an all?
Junt goes past Fournier. Fournier outbrakes himself into exactly the same corner that Junt nearly nerfed him off last lap round. They're flashing lights at each other again, but I'm not really sure why. So that's just continuing on. And what that has done is, because of the fallout of that, McGlade couldn't get a good exit out of the corner, and that's allowed Holm and Strane onto the back. So the ice colds are sandwiching a THR, and this could be juicy into the chicane, but neither of them choose to do anything, although McGlade is choosing anything but the apex for either of those corners, and that's going to allow Holm to stick his nose down the inside if he's feeling brutish. And brutish is exactly what Adrian is looking to do, and Lewis McGlade scared off the track, and through goes Holm and Strane down to 10th for Lulu.
Just to take the car in front of you can have. I mean, obviously, like you said, Jeffrey and David are getting it on in front of him, and he just knows to go and backs off, and then loses 2 places because of it. So it's unfortunate, but that is some racing, I'm afraid. As what's happening up front, Sarlo less than a second behind. Took a whole 9/10 out of Matt that last lap. Matt, I think maybe tyres are going, or maybe the pressure's getting to him because that gap's coming down.
Certainly is, and he's running wide and locking his tyres up far more than Sarlo. And some of those lines are great for defending, but not necessarily for outright pace, as Holm gets past Strane for 8th position, so that's helped him. Strane got back through, so those two have been at each other's throats from the beginning of the race. All very cleanly, may I say, unlike some of the other battles. But if they stop focusing on each other and focused on the cars ahead, they could probably pick off a couple of them. But that's just the way how racing goes. Oh, as Shepherd and Tapper have collided each other, problems for the pair of them. They've lost out there to Sven De Vries and co. And Shepherd a poor exit. But because Junt and Fournier have been so busy bitch-slapping each other, they weren't there to pick up the pieces. And that seems to be the story of this latter half of the top 10.
Yes.
Oh, I think Junt's going round.
Not quite going round, but he's... Oh, that's a bit rude to cut him off there. And oh, Jeffrey's going to give him a love tap. Oh, good save from David, actually. Very nice. Now he needs to get into that slipstream and have a go into this next corner. There's going to be flashing McGullor. It's like BTCC when Mr. Collard was doing it to Plato. I was not very happy about that. But yes. Has it got a slipstream? Ooh.
Oh, no.
Outbrakes himself a bit there. David called back to... Ugh. That's what I can say. A bit juicy.
At least I know what your gargling reflex sounds like, and that I will put on record for an hour loop on YouTube for everyone as Junt gets both curb wheels on the grass, loses it completely. Through goes Fournier. I think Adrian Holm might fancy a good exit, just like his teammate did earlier on in this evening. But it didn't quite work out for him, and actually what that has done is backed him into Eric Strane, and it's 3 wide behind as well. I know you like a 3 wide, and it's going to almost be 4 for you.
Oh, Riccardo, please don't make it.
Oh, no, Bricalo's not making it.
No, there's Lewis. Lewis is going wide.
Barrier for Bricalo.
I think what happened there was Lewis maybe braked for the corner and Bricalo just got caught out there and lost quite a few positions. So unfortunate for him, as is that Junt getting overtaken by Holm. It is. So now Junt down to 8th place.
Barlow onto the back now of Matt Richards for the lead. Other changes in all of that. Munro got past McGlade for 10th and 11th. Redshaw stayed 12th. And Martin Palm got past Ilja Bricalo for 14th and 15th. So changes going on afoot there. Also, more changes because McGlade just tried to dive bomb John Munro, missed it entirely, and has rejoined back behind in the battle for 10 and 11. But Sarlo looking feisty on the back of Richards now.
Yes, 6th gain on that last lap. So Sarlo has slowly but surely reeled Matt back in. They are about a second slower than what they were doing a couple of laps ago. So the tyres are starting to go. Sarlo in his rear-wheel drive Lexus against Richards in his front-wheel drive Chevy. We will see front-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. What can he do? As Matt goes defensive into the chicane and he's I was going to say!
No!
Yeah, he's left the door open and he's very rudely shut the door there. So, come on, you had a good fight with Butcher in the first race. Can you do it nicely and cleanly in this third race?
Sarlo just seems to bring the trouble to him. He doesn't even need, a milkshake at the bar. Because damn right it's dirtier than yours. And down into the last corner. We've got 2 laps at the end of this one for Rasmus Sarlo to do it. Sven de Vries is reeling them in slowly as well. He's 2 seconds off the back, but closing in at actually quite a rapid pace of this specific lap because these two have now met each other. And all that does is contribute you to ruin each other, doesn't it?
Yep, as Shepherd and Tapper go side by side for 4th place. Shepherd thinks better of it though, and will try and get the better line. He's got a
Sarlo for the lead. Oh, Richards has gone off. The Sarlo's gone off too.
In
Sarlo
sympathy.
Completely scares it. But Richard there I think he could see Sarlo was out of control, but kind of went off in avoidance. Richards retakes the lead. That was the most bizarre lines I've seen into turn 2 all evening long. Very entertaining as Lewis Redshaw and Lewis McGlade and John Munro clout each other for 10, 11 and 12. McGlade gets back past John Munro for the time being.
Oh,
that's going to run and run.
Shepherd has passed Tapper.
Oh, Sarlo's off! Sarlo's off! Richards has spun him round. Rasmus Sarlo's off. He's stuck in the race.
Oh! He's hit. Shepherd's hit him. I think Shepherd clouted him. Oh, that is so unfortunate. So unfortunate for Shepherd. He was going to go take 3rd place. That is. Rasmus. He's had such a poor weekend, and none of it his fault. So poor, unlucky. Really feels for Sarlo. He was. Wow, he really did have the pace. So really unlucky there. And Sven
de Vries is going to pick up the pieces, isn't he?
He is. He's less than half a second behind.
Matt Richards there struggling. That car looking not necessarily in the best condition in terms of grip. I don't think it caused much of an actual front end damage for that car because it wasn't a massive tap that he sent Rasmus round on. He just managed to clout it at the right position, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's all it takes. I mean, that's the difference between front-wheel drive. If that was the other way round, I think Matt probably would have saved it. I mean, and that's probably why he's struggling on his tyres. That front-wheel drive does kill your tyres, and Sven with his rear-wheel drive and now damaged his car. This could be an interesting final lap as... Oh, Tapper's off! So in the final corner, can Shepherd take 3rd place? Oh, and who's that? It's John, he's gone off as well.
Yes, he has. Which is bizarre. That was all kicking off the corner beforehand. I could see so much smoke going off. Sven de Vries there is doing a proper skid round turn 1. He's got a great exit. Richards goes to the centre of the track. De Vries there trying to help Richards round the corner. That's not going to work. And now he's got to line himself up for a great exit. This is going to be an absolute bountiful race as Ben Hackerson has just disconnected and retired his car as well. Retirement number 5 of the race. And this is all to play for. Shepherd on Holm for 3rd and 4th. Shepherd on Tapper for 3rd and 4th. Holm, Strane and Fournier for 5, 6 and 7. It is all into groups. And here comes De Vries down the outside. Richards has got the inside. He's going to have a good exit. De Vries just can't quite get it. But it's going to start depending on how they deal with these next couple of straights.
If Sven's clever, he's going to try and get an amazing run onto the back straight to try and get a slipstream. And that is probably the best chance he'll have. He has gone on. Oh, and is he going to do? Oh, power slide. Going round. Early in the lap, by the way, Fournier lost 2 positions from 5th to 7th. So that's A shame for him, he's done a good job, but now, Sven, can he get onto the back of Matt? That time is slowly coming down. He's in that slipstream, but is it enough? I don't think it is.
Doesn't look it, does it?
Nope. Is he going to try to dive? He's less than 2 tenths behind, but he's just too far back.
Oh, that's late.
Oof, that's late.
Oh, no.
I don't think he's got the time now.
Don't do the Lungelina. Please don't do the Lungelina into the last couple of corners as we start into the final sector then. Just a couple more corners. They're ones that you can kind of get alongside and lean on if you do slightly different racing lines, but they're following each other around. De Vries much tighter. But no, I think we're sorted just about. Matt Richards just needs to get out of the final corner. De Vries gets 2 wheels under the grass. And well, it's controversial, but Matt Richards takes his 2nd win of the evening for Cosmo Autosport and shows exactly why he should be included in the championship hunt for the 2015 International Touring Car Championship. Sven de Vries takes home a good 2nd there for Aurora Motorsports and gets himself as a new man onto the podium. Well done for Mr. Parker for saying that. And Derry Tapper on the podium too for Vod Ball after starting in pole position. I think he'll be pleasantly pleased with that in 3rd place. Chris Shepherd, a great race for 4th place after not scoring points ever, has now had a triple bill. Adrian Holm, 5th position, beat home Eric Strana. So Strana there in 6th position. That, I think, will dent in his championship lead ever so slightly. Jeffrey Fournier in 7th for Epic. Great day of racing for the Epic team. David Junt in 8th position. Hot-headed as usual with Lewis McGlade in 9. John Munro 10th position. It's not worked out well for him today. Lewis Redshaw 11th. Then Martin Palm gets points for Torrent in 12th. First of the evening. Ilja Bacalo 13th for Triple 20 despite that enormous off down at turn 1. Mike Bell, another point scoring position for him in 14th, and Reino Muru grabs TTF a point in 15th, and I think he'll be pleased with that one after a slow start to the season for him. Wopke Hoekstra just misses out for Enterprise in 16. Rob Mason, who only turned up for round 3, was in 17th, and he done well for YTF1. I think he'll be pleased. Gerhard Batil needs to stop spinning off on the opening lap of a race because he's done it twice this evening and still comes home 18th. Kevin Siggy 19th after starting from the pit lane. That kind of sealed his fate, although when you look at the overall time he was 45 seconds down at the end of sector 1 lap 1 and he was 37 down by the end of the race, so he clearly had the pace to win that. Jack Mayer 20th, Scotty Moore for 21st for Apex, Pedro Mellum 22nd for CSG, Yoel Pereira 23rd for Apex, so a good start to the career for Apex Racing, and their team boss Stefan McCready I think will be delighted with that. Sam Jones 24th for Cosmo was the final man home with your retirements Ben Hackerson, Rasmus Salo, Lars Brookman, Gergo Baldi and Chris Butcher.
Yes, you mentioned Siggy. He actually had the fastest lap of the race, a 2-minute flat 0.1.
Wow.
So actually, had he
That was
been
good
up
enough for
there,
pole.
Yes, so had he been up there, it would have been interesting, let's say. I mean, I do feel for Shepherd. I mean, he was the one who tapped Sala and absolutely nowhere he could go, and probably lost the podium because of it, so that's really unfortunate. But nice to see Epic up there, as well as the other teams. Also, Ice Cold up there as well. So Ice Cold have had a very good weekend, actually. And THR have also had a good one, so this is going to shake up the championship, I am sure. But yes, race 3, bit argy-bargy, especially up the front. And Matt Richards actually himself said on the game chat he doesn't expect to keep that one. So we will see what happens. But unfortunate end to the race, really, because Rasmus really was on fire pretty much all weekend, wasn't he? But he just had no luck at all.
Yep, all evening kicking the tyres off of his car and sometimes everyone else's as well, whether or not he wanted to or not. Joshua Anderson, our cameraman extraordinaire, who brought you all of those pixelated pictures of filth. How was that for you, just whilst I dragged some people in for some interviews?
It was a great race again. It's a very nice evening and 3 good races. It was a shame about the incident, around the front, with Rasmus. And, well, what can you do, though? It's touring car racing, you get this sort of thing and, the DC will sort it out in the end. So, if anything needs doing, they'll sort it out. But, 2 wins in a night. Matt's going to be happy with that, even if one of them was slightly controversial. But, what do you do?
I would say get a takeaway.
That's fair enough, yeah.
And just whilst we've got your main driver here, Mr. Team Boss, any wise words you want to say to your driver? He's here now.
Oh, hi Matt. Quite
Hello.
proud of you, mate.
Thank you.
It was quite good racing, obviously. Round one was, that was fun to watch, as was round three. It's your first event in the front wheel drives, though, isn't it?
Yes. Since first round of the 2013-14, so season 1 of ITC. So yeah, first round in ITC is front wheel drives for this season.
Yeah, it does pose a different challenge to the rear wheel drive cars. They're obviously very different to handle, and tyre wear is obviously an issue. But do you think you prefer them over the rear wheel drives, or is it something that you won't be going back to?
I'll definitely be returning to front wheel drives. I can say that. I do want to say sorry to Rasmus though. The spin, I feel not really much I could have done about. He was half sideways anyway, and I swear I didn't throttle into him. So
Never mind. But no, we'll Tom and I are going to grill the collection of drivers that are in this beautiful place, and we'll start off with Mr. Richards. To be fair, so clearly 2 wins out of 3 races. Even if the third one doesn't necessarily stand as a whole, it's another great race for you. Does that launch you into a good shot at the championship challenge, or at least the top 5 championship challenge?
top 5, I guess. That's considering I'm the switch to the front wheel drives now. That's going to be my aim. Really, is the top 5 way too far off championship wins, so that's way out of the window. But yeah, hopefully it could be good for the rest of the season. Definitely aiming at top 5.
Race 1. I mean, we saw you there. I mean, there was so much pressure from behind, from Siggy, from Butcher, from Siggy again. What is going through your head when you were putting all that? When you've got some very fast drivers behind you and you're having to hold them off for 10 laps. What was that like?
Main thing I was thinking was don't touch the grass. Otherwise
Yes.
that would have ended badly. But was quite tough, but holding them off seemed okay when I could get my car into the right places. Every time Siggy or Salo or Chris went to move, I at least thought about where I was going to put my car, so that did help a lot. Then I think Siggy dropped off halfway through the race, which saved me really. If he hadn't, I probably wouldn't have won. So yeah, pretty tough race and pretty good win for me.
Very good.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much, Matt. There. Let's move on to the suspiciously man that was pushing you very hard at the end there, Sven de Vries, who seemed to get yourself in plenty of argy-bargy, but it all came good in race 3, and you were so close to yoinking that victory, but not quite there for you today.
Yeah, I was very happy. I had no practice at all, so I came in through on a setup from last year and praying for the best, and went pretty well. Race 1 took my second podium of the season, so I was pleased with that. Race 2, unfortunately, Rasmus locked up and took me out while I was sitting in P4, I believe, so it was a bit of a bummer. But that put me with no wave for race 3. Had an okay start, managed to work myself up, and eventually saw Med and Rasmus had an incident ahead of me, so I could get around Rasmus. And from the way it looked to me, I feel like Matt will get a penalty for that, but I'm not to judge that. It just made me want to attack Matt, but not take too many risks, because I feel like that win's going to come to me after all anyway. But yeah, all in all, a very good weekend for me. Very pleased.
Sven, do you think is there going to be more of you up the top? I mean, I know it's taken you a bit of a while to get up to the top this year. I mean, last year you were quite good, if I remember rightly, in ITC. So do you think you'll be expecting more now that if you do have time to practice? I know you said you didn't do any practice. That's pretty impressive. So with practice, do you think you can challenge for wins more often?
I think so. I mean, I don't really have too much time in my hands, so if I get some practice in, that'd be nice. But otherwise, it also depends a lot on who you're around. This weekend I got lucky in all 3 races except for one incident, but didn't really get crashed off or anything. So all in all, it was good for me. We'll see if I can keep this pace that I had this weekend. I'm confident we can be battling up front again.
Excellent, well done.
Deedums. Moving on to Juan Monroe, who is here this evening doing his very special Spanish or Colombian counterpart. Coming into this racing this evening, you were sitting in the top 4 in the Drivers' Championship, looking quite feisty, but kind of had a bit of a tumble up and down the field. You seem to be pinballing back and forth. Was that due to penalty weight, or just the way how the car set up was working around a Snetterton circuit? And how do you feel the evening went for you as a whole?
No, I mean, to be honest, the whole event was all about damage limitation. I've had my main school exams this week, so I literally didn't do a single lap of practice till about an hour ago, and then it was just about trying to basically just score any points I could, really. So looking at it that way, I'm actually quite happy with how it went. I mean, obviously, as you said, I was up and down the order. I was a good chunk off the pace in the first race, especially with that weight, which didn't really help at all. I just didn't have the pace of Eric and Adrian today. They did a really good job, and I must also say, actually, while I'm here, really well done, Matt. That was a superb couple of races, but yeah, just didn't have the pace this week. Not quite up to where I was in the last couple of rounds, but considering I got 4th in the second race, I'm pretty happy with the damage limitation.
Very good. So are you still aiming for those 2 titles? Obviously, one for yourself, one for THR. I mean, THR, like I said, damage limitation. You still managed to do a really good job. So I know Vod Ball didn't have a driver turn up today, and that's Gustin Canapino. So is this looking even better for you in terms of the teams?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going for both, to be honest. I mean, the team championships are a real aim for the season. I'd be delighted to pick up that with Adrian, and I think we've got a really good shout. We just need to keep on getting the consistent results, and I'm definitely going to give it full chat for the drivers' championship as well. Hopefully, it'll be more competitive in the next few rounds. I mean, I managed to win the first race of the season, so I know I've got the pace to be up there and fighting with the top 2 guys. It's just about getting the practice in. But obviously, Adrian and Eric are 2 fantastic competitors. They're really tough to beat. But I've definitely got a chance, and I'm just going to keep on giving it my all. And actually, while I'm here, can I just say the racing tonight, from my point of view, was absolutely superb. Like, I had a lot of on-track battles, but everything was really clean, hard, fair racing. So I just want to say thanks to everyone I battled with. That was fantastic fun.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, brilliant. Yes, well done.
Yeah, so less of a drama than round 1. So that was good. And actually, Parker did notice that. So noted. Very good. Thank you very much, kind Scott. On to Gideon up to Eric Strane, who came in as the championship leader coming in. And I think you just about left as championship leader, clinging on as well. But you seem to be inseparable from a certain few drivers this evening. Nose to tail or wheel to wheel all the way through. So surely your heart rate must be pumping even for someone of your cool demeanour.
Yeah, I think an image of Adrian's car is like glued to my screen now because it's just been there all evening.
Burned in.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't buy a new one now. No, I got stuck behind the hole a few times and I just couldn't get past. So that's the way it is. But overall, it went really well.
That's good. So obviously, a few good results tonight. Is the championship charge still on for yourself? Obviously, Mr. Monroe here has said he would like it as well. Will you be pushing him all of the way? What about Ice Cold? I know Ice Cold had a really good weekend today as well, with Lewis doing a good job as well. Do you think you can give THR a run for their money?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Lewis, like you said, Lewis did a great job, and we, I mean, if we just keep doing what we've been doing, we're definitely up there to give Juan a run for his money. So, and Adrian, of course.
It's Adrian you need to worry about, not me.
Well, we'll see about that, eh? We'll I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep doing what we're doing, and I enjoy the races. It's a lot of fun compared to Braga. This is a lot of fun. I had a great battle with Chris in race 2, and then with Adrian in race 3. Just a few things which were a bit weird, but on the whole, even the driving standards of a good fight to see, which is a nice change.
Fabulous stuff. Thank you very much, Eric. That is grand from us. And just moving on to finally, last but not least, Dowie Tapper, who you was kind of clinging on to the coattails of the leading bunch through races 1 and 2, which gave you the pole position for race 3. Are you still delighted that you got onto the podium despite some topsy-turvy bit moments, or were you looking for something a bit more higher than the 3rd place that you ultimately got?
Well, I'm very pleased with 3rd place. Don't get me wrong, but I honestly think, if I'm completely honest, Chris Shepard should have had it, because I locked up. I don't know exactly where, but I locked up. I lost the rear end of the car, and because he hit me on the front end of the car, I got going again. But yeah, I mean, I maybe shouldn't have had 3rd, but I'm still happy with it anyway. And I don't think I could have gotten any higher anyway. I just don't have the pace in these cars in general. I'm just here for points.
Oh, so pessimistic. No, you've done a good job tonight. You got a few points finishes. What was race 2 like? I saw you having if it wasn't for that last minute move on Boulder, you wouldn't have been on pole. So how important is it to keep clean in that midfield? I mean, it looked pretty hectic out there today.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a little bit of an opinion that's bothering me, and I won't spill it out here. But yeah, certain attitudes in the middle of the pack are just a bit off. But overall, it's been fun. It's been clean.
Great stuff. Well, let's hope you get to stay in the top section of the group, so then you don't have to deal with the bad attitudes in the midfield, and you can enjoy your racing. But no, thank you very much to everyone for coming in. We do love to hear from the drivers at the end of the races, especially because it gives us a little bit of a breather ourselves, because we've been panting away like some kind of Fitbit user. So, tomorrow, as Tom Parker was already saying, we have the Atlantic Series kicking off for the very first time. So join us for a part of GPVWC's History in the Making with your commentators Matthew Chergwin and I think it was Tom Jacobs, wasn't it?
Yes, Mr. Jacobs with Cams.
Yes, it's the Formula Challenged people actually commentating on drivers who might actually have some talent. So that's possibly quote unquote talent. So they'll be treated to that. That'll be lovely, and you can join in all the action on simrace.tv for that. We'll be back specifically for International Touring Cars in 2 weeks' time for the Indonesian circuit at Sentul. Same time, same channel. Apologies for the late start today. We had an intrusion in the form of an Italian wayward in the broadcast that we had to clear out. But until then, it is goodbye from Joshy Washy.
Bye-bye.
And from Parky Poo.
Yes, good. Be good. Don't let the bed bugs bite and stuff.
If you can't be good, then run hacks.exe. Bye for now.